Hey everyone! For library today, we're going to be diving back into those Google apps. So first I want to say you did a wonderful job in Google Drive, making sure you had it downloaded, logged in, and those screenshots were fantastic. I saw all these really nice, neat, and clean Google Drives with that grade level folder, so we are ready to move on. So Google Drive is going to be your home base where we'll be starting from here on out as we're doing different Google projects. Today, we're going to be focusing on Google Docs. Google Docs. So it's the blue icon with the white lines on it. This is our word processing app where we can type different like paragraphs or sentences or a paper or make a bulleted list, things like that. So you'll want to make sure that you have it downloaded, and I'll be walking you through step by step what we'll be doing as we work through Google Docs today. Okay? All right, let's take a look at Google Docs. The first thing you will want to do is make sure you have the Google Docs app that looks just like this. If you do not have it, head into self-service. Click the magnifying glass down here to search, and then at the top up here, type in Google Docs, D-O-C-S, and hit that install button to get it. Okay, so now, the one thing that might be very helpful to you as you're working through this together is to actually do split screen. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag my Google Docs here until it's wiggling. I'm holding on to it, and I am going to pull it down into my doc since I'm working on Google Docs right here. Now, what you can do is open up Schoology first. And then, of course, you know, you would head into your library class and into this week's folder. And you can actually pull up the video lesson for today. Okay, so let's say I'll just show an example with this one. Okay, now what you can do is grab that Google Doc and very carefully, whoops, swipe up. This could be kind of finicky. There we go. So I'm just sliding and pulling it so that now I have split screen. So you could be watching my video over here and you could be working at the same time if you wanted to do that. And you could definitely watch the whole thing and then do it, but that's just an idea of one thing that you could do. Okay? All right, so what we're going to do first, we're actually starting in Drive. Even though we're doing a Google Doc, we're starting in Drive. Here's the reason why. I want you to look at Google Drive as your home base. So if we were to create something in Docs, it would just appear out here. It would appear with all of my loose stuff, and we want to make sure that it's going right inside our folder. So the grade level folder that you made, go ahead and head inside that. Okay, so here we are, and most likely you don't have anything in yours. I just have a couple of things because I was using that as an example. Okay, so what you're going to do is head to your plus sign here. And notice there's that same symbol, Google Docs. As soon as we tap this, it's going to take us out to Google Docs. So that way, it'll be right in the grade 2 folder. Okay. Now I'm going to pull mine full screen here. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so you're going to call it My Favorite Candy. We're going to be talking about candy here, and then hit create. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is talk a little bit about each of these buttons and talk a little bit about formatting here. So I really, really, really want you to practice typing Please do not grab the microphone button and just say it. I know you all know how to talk. You've probably known how to talk since you were like 2, but you may not know how to type very well, and we won't get better at it if we don't practice, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is type our heading. The heading is going to be the exact same way. It's also going to say my favorite candy. So what you're going to do first is type my space. Now, because this is the title, we want a capital F. So hit that shift key right here. Now favorite. Oh, I still didn't spell it correctly, but that's okay. I'm going to show an example. Shift key again. Candy. Okay. Now first, I noticed that little red dash line under there. That's telling me that I spelled it incorrectly. If I tap my finger on it, it will tell me the right way to spell it. Okay, so now it's time to do our formatting. So the first thing we are going to adjust is alignment. Say that word with me, alignment. Good. You can see that it's on left alignment. We could also send it over to right alignment, but because this is a title, we want it right in the center. So that's these lines that show it all right in the center. There we go. Now we have our title right in the center. Now what we're going to do is edit it. Now I could hit any one of these buttons here. I could hit, oh, I want it bold. I want it slanted. That's actually called italicized. I want it underlined. I want to change the color, any of those things. But notice how nothing is changing on it. And there's a reason why. It's not highlighted. So I'm going to hold my finger on it until you see that little magnifying glass pop up. I'm going to let go. And I'm going to say, select all. Now I can adjust with any one of these here that I wanted to. But there's one more place. Notice over here, there's this A with the lines here. You can adjust lots of different things here. So my font is Arial, so I'm going to head in here and I'm going to choose, there's lots of fun fonts. I actually probably have more fonts than you do that I've downloaded. I think I'll use this first one here. Now when I head back, the size, you can see the size is 11 point, which is really kind of small. So what I'm going to do is bump that up bigger. You definitely don't want to go any bigger than about 20 or 24, just because we want it to all fit on our screen here. Now text color, we could also change the color to whatever particular color that you want to do. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and tap off of that. And I need to get, see that little blinking line right there? That blinking line is so important. That blinking line is called a cursor. Everybody say cursor with me. Good, cursor. Okay, so what we want to do is make sure that that cursor is at the end of the line. And we're going to be pressing this key called return to get it down. See how I did that? I hit return, return. Now notice if my cursor was right here, like in the middle of, maybe it was like right here in the middle of favorite, and if I hit return, return, look what it's doing to my title. And don't worry, if you do anything like that and mess it up, there is a beautiful thing called an undo button right here. You can just click undo, undo, and everything is back. Okay, so I'm going to show you that again. At the end of the line, return, return. Okay, now we want to play around with the alignment again. I'm going to go over here again to the left alignment. And now I'm going to start the start of my sentence here. My favorite candy is ... Okay, your cursor should be at the end of your ellipse there, at the end of your line. So go ahead and hit return. And now we're going to make a list. So These two buttons right here, we have bullets as an option, or we have numbers as an option. Either one of those are fine. I think I'm going to go ahead with bullets. And what I want you to do is list your top 3 favorite types of candy. So I am going to say Kit Kats for one. Okay, now notice when my cursor's at the end of the line there, hit return. And it'll automatically make another bullet. I'm going to say Reese's is another one that I like. And then I'm going to hit return again. And I like gummy candy too, gummy worms. Okay. Now, if for whatever reason you needed to adjust anything as you're working through it, you could either tap with your finger in it, but just one little trick I want to show you here. If you hold your finger, press and hold it down on the space bar here, notice what happens to my keyboard. See how it's just white? Now I can drag my finger up anywhere around and get it exactly where I need that cursor. So try that little trick. All right. So now I'm going to hit return, return again to get rid of that bullet. So my cursor is down at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and get ready to add a picture of one of those 3 things. So in order to add a picture, we're going to head into the 3 dots here. And we're going to go to the word explore. And it's automatically going to be searching some of the words that I said here. So I'm going to search gummy worms since that was the last one that I said. And it's searching on the website here, but let's head over to the images. And ooh, these look delicious. I think I'm going to grab this one right here. And once it loads, then hit insert. And let me pull down my keyboard here so I can see there's that button there to pull down the keyboard. Oh, there it is. Okay, so you'll see here we have a title centered in the top. We have a sentence starter, my favorite candy is. We have 3 things in our bulleted list, and then we have an image. So make sure that you have all of those things. Okay. From there, what you're going to do is, after you have those things, your Google Doc is done. Now remember, it does save automatically. So let's just hit this check mark up here so our keyboard is gone and it looks nice and clean there. We don't see the toolbar at the top. And what I want you to do, just like you did with your last Google Drive assignment, I want to be able to see your work. So take your home button and your power button at the exact same time. We're going to do that screenshot again and just snap. There we go. Now you're ready. Go ahead and head into Schoology. And you'll head into your library course, going into the weeks folder and the days folder, whatever day you have library on. And you'll notice there is an assignment that's called upload your screenshot of your Google Doc here. So what you're going to do is click over to the submissions. And then on yours, I'm in teacher view, but on yours, you'll see a blue plus sign here, and you will upload that screenshot of your Google Docs. So I can't wait to see them. I'm excited to see all the formatting and how much you have learned since we've practiced in the past, if you've done this before, or if you're new, if these are new skills that you're learning. And I'm also really anxious to see what your favorite candies are too. So All right, if you need any help, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can send me a Schoology message. I will gladly set up a Google Meet time or even in person if you're here to try to help you. So don't ever feel frustrated. I am here for you.